spinning?
No.
Well, you're about to hear it, brother, because we are live. Welcome in. Latest episode, little emergency, I guess, podcast of that SEC podcast. I'm your host, Michael Bratton. Go by SEC Mike. And joined, as always, by my cousin Shane, who goes by Big Orange Vols. What you up to? It's Friday night, brother.
Hey, babe, what's going on?
Oh, that says it all right there, doesn't it? Let me just double check real quick, because I just never know. I just never know if we're actually live or not, Shane. Looks like we are live. And we've got a nice little announcement coming up here, Shane. This is the whole reason we wanted to jump on, Shane, because we're doing something. We always are trying to do things a little bit better, a little bit bigger. Appreciate you, John, hopping on here. But cousin Shane and I, it's not often that we're in the same location for an event. So we just wanted to put it out there next Friday. And oh, shit, Shane, I should have realized we should have talked about a time because I don't even know what time. But next Friday, cousin
7
Shane,
o'clock.
Okay, 7 o'clock. Cousin Shane and I, we're going to be in Nashville for the SEC basketball tournament. And we want as many of you that can make it. We figured there's going to be a lot of you perhaps traveling down to the SEC tournament. So Friday night, we will be at 6th and Peabody. It's a big place. You can't miss it. It's 2 blocks away from Bridgestone Arena where they're holding the SEC tournament. But we're going to be at 6th and Peabody. It's the Old Smoky Distillery. There's a Yeehaw Brewing. I mean, it's a massive, massive building. 7 o'clock, which will be Central Time, Shane. You got to get accustomed to that. Nashville Central Time, not Eastern Time. 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. We will be down there drinking beers, watching the SEC tournament, and we want as many of you that can make it to come on out.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome, man. We went out to this event, SEC Media Days. A really cool place, cool establishment, real open. They're going to have a lot of TVs going on. So if you just want to come down there and watch a little bit of that SEC tournament, there'll be games on everywhere. It's going to be fun. Like Mike said, it's nothing formal. We're just hanging out. We're drinking some brewskis with the cousins, and everybody is welcome to join us. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I mean, I am super pumped. I wish I was there right now, but we're going to be drinking some cold beers with everybody. I'm like I said, just try to get out there if you can. If not, you will be there in spirit, and we will feel it. I'll drink to you.
And Shane, would it be all right if we told the audience about what we're scheduled to do on Thursday? I think I'd get them excited.
Yes, sir.
So, hey, unless they may revoke our invitation at any moment here, but cousin Shane and I will both be on the Paul Finebaum show. We don't quite know the time yet, but he's, of course, going to be airing his program from Bridgestone Arena. So, tune in Thursday during the Paul Finebaum show, SEC tournament. Cousin Shane will be on, and not just waving from the background. They have asked for cousin Shane to make an appearance on the show. So his debut, I mean, that's going to be worth tuning in right there.
Hell yeah, man! I'm a little nervous. I ain't gonna lie. You know, I heard them TV cameras, they add about 20 pounds. So, I don't know what that's going to do. Definitely not going to be Tebow up there. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, it's going to be fun. I can't wait to do it. I've met Paul before a couple of times, but I've never been on the show, and looking forward to it. Just hope I don't Chris Marler this thing from now till then and get canceled. But as long as I stay on good behavior and keep the beer down, I'm sure Paul will have me up.
Yeah. So again, for if you just tuned in, Friday, 7 o'clock Central, we're going to be at 6th and Peabody. It's a huge brewery, distillery type place, Old Smoky Distillery, Yeehaw Brewing. We're going to be there hanging out, drinking beers. And last time, we've only done something like this one time, and Shane had about 20 beers. So I don't think he's going to try to top that, but who knows? I mean, he went into the last one saying, I'm only going to have a beer or two, and that turned into 20 real quick.
That's it. Yeah, absolutely. And we had a blast at the last one too, meeting everybody out there. So it'll be fun. It's just going to be a live. It's going to be. I just love the establishment, and they're not sponsors of the show or anything. I'm just letting you know it's a pretty cool hang. I googled if you're looking for directions. I just did Yeehaw Nashville, and it will take you right there. And we're right next to the arena, so hopefully we'll see everybody out there, Mike.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe we get Paul down there. I doubt it, but maybe we can get Paul down there to drink some cold ones with us. You know what?
Absolutely.
Well, brother, hey, while we're here, we got a little voicemail that I wanted to play. Again, you think I'd have this voicemail line memorized by now, Shane, but I do not. The number, if you want to call or even text in, I just now realized people can text in, 615-965-5152. We got a voicemail line, Shane, and we have got one here that I think you're going to like.
SEC Mike, Cousin Shane, Cousin Rusty. Wanted to get y'all's take on Nick Saban's comments today about his players' actions after the Rose Bowl loss. Was he sincere? Did he mean it? Or could it be rat poison for the new regime? I don't know. HBTFD. That's what I told him. Go Dogs.
And for anybody that missed it, here's the key quote. I mean, he had a lot to say. This is a Chris Lowe article. Anybody that missed it, I recommend you go check it out on ESPN.com. But here's the key part, Shane. This is Nick Saban talking right after losing to Michigan, his final game. He said, this is a direct quote from Nick Saban. I thought we could have a hell of a team next year. And then maybe 70 to 80% of the players, they all want to know two things. What assurances do I have that I'm going to play because they're thinking about transferring or not? And how much are you going to pay me? And he cited that being a big reason why he decided to hang it up. And I say, good damn written, Shane, because last I checked, these conversations are happening in Athens, they're happening in Austin, they're happening in Knoxville, they're happening in Oxford. And if Pat Ball can't deal with it, you know, the competitive advantage that he had his entire run down there in Alabama, he no longer had it. And oh yeah, last time I checked, Shane, he's grabbing Jamison Williams from Ohio State. He's adding Jahmyr Gibbs from Georgia Tech. He's adding Tyler Sheen, left tackle from Vanderbilt. I mean, he's picking apart teams when he needed it too. Yeah. They added, it didn't work out for him, but the Notre Dame quarterback that came in for South Florida and blew up in their face, they got him away. You know what I mean? Like, they picked whoever they wanted in the damn transfer portal too. So I don't understand what in the hell Nick Saban's bitching about here. Highest paid coach in the country. And he deserved every penny. But to sit here and say, well, these players got their hand out, it's the same all across college football. And it ain't like he was coaching at Vanderbilt, Shane. This was Alabama where they have just about as much money as anybody.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I don't know. I tried to decipher what this meant. You know, it's like one last get before he gets out, you know, because, you know, obviously Saban was opposed to the NIL. He was, and he won't come out and say that, but we all know it. Alabama had a good run. Things were working. So if things are working, you don't want to mix it up. You don't want to change things up. And this is it's a new style of football, brother. And the NIL is here. The transfer portal's here. It is free agency. I mean, real free agency right now. And I don't think that is why Saban left. Saban knew he was going, man. There's no way. There's no doubt in my mind that Saban knew he was out. And it wasn't one conversation with a 22-year-old about a future contract saying, you know what? This shit's over. Because a lot of these kids were asking for money for years, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's just the nature of this game. So I'm right there with you. This is kind of bullshit. This is something Saban probably was thinking and then like let it out and probably wished he didn't, because that's not the reason he's out. The reason he's out is he's done. He was done. He didn't see himself there. It's hard to go into someone's living room and say and try to get them to come to your campus for 3 to 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that I don't think I'm going to be here for 3 to 4 years. So this is just noise. Get that out of here.
I got you. Well, Shane, hey, going back real quick to again, we're going to be on Finebaum together on Thursday, so tune in. Dirt Dog says, Shane, you and Paul got the same hairstyle, so make sure you don't wear the same outfit because we'll get y'all confused. So, that's a tip from Dirt Dog. I do appreciate you, Dirt Dog, with that one. But
Oh, I'm gonna have to use that one.
I don't know. I mean, again, is this rat poison, Shay, where he's setting up, the next coach? I don't know if it's an excuse to say, well, he's inheriting an entitled team, but. Yeah, last time I checked, Shane, attitude reflects leadership, and who's the leader down there in Tuscaloosa. And he also said, he was upset. Players were throwing their helmets down and getting all mad, and this is not the Alabama way. This is not the attitude that we're used to. I mean, it's a bunch of pat ball damn speak, but
Yeah.
I mean, my God, I mean, the players. They're going to be emotional because you get down there to Alabama. The goal is to win a national championship. It's not even to win an SEC. It's not to make the Rose Bowl lose. It's to beat Michigan's ass. It's to beat Texas or Washington or whoever they had to face next and win a national championship. So I don't know. I don't mind a little emotion after a loss. We certainly appreciate it from Jalen Milroe when he's makes the gravedigger throw, and he says, give me that damn Heisman. Of course, we knew he wasn't going to win the Heisman, but he was just being emotional in the moment. I love that. So we can't sit here and say we love the emotion when they prove their doubters wrong, and then they get emotional in a tough, overtime, hard-fought. It's not like they got their asses handed to them, and they're out here, saying, I got 1 foot out the door, I'm off to the NFL anyway. It was just, I expected Alabama to win that game. So did you. So did most of us listening to this program. So the fact that they lost in overtime on a fourth down play that should never have been called, thanks Tommy Reese. That's why we called his ass out the moment he got hired. But I don't know. I don't care for these comments. And why in the hell, also, this is bugging me too, Shane. I mean, Nick Saban has never even formally held a press conference or anything. He's only giving exclusive interviews to ESPN, which he now works for as an employee. I don't know. It just feels like a half-assed, this is why I'm leaving. And he's not facing any of the music. I don't know. I just don't care for any of it.
No, I don't either. And I mean, short of you catching him at some charity event, that's the only soundbite you're going to get outside of ESPN. So,
right.
Yeah, at this point, he's shifting, brother. He's Lee Corso 2.0 coming up, and he's going to tell us about college football the rest of his days here. And I'm okay with that because I do think Nick Saban is a great add to that realm. But I'm with you. There should have been some sort of dialogue, I would think, or at least, don't you think the fans deserve it? You know what I'm saying? Maybe not us, but at least Alabama fans, that stuck with him the entire time and not really stuck. I mean, you know what I mean. But yeah. I don't know. It's clicks. That's all this one is.
And what I think is really funny, Shane, they have another coach, obviously, Kalen DeBoer. I think he's a great hire, but he's literally said nothing that creates waves, yet it's the former coach that anytime he opens his mouth, it's this national headlines, college football centric. So I don't know. I mean, it's interesting to me that Nick Saban, I think it overshadows even the current head coach, and he's probably going to do that for a while. So he's got to be careful what he says now that he's on College Game Day. Can you imagine if he pulls a Steve Spurrier like Spurrier did on our last episode calling out Billy Napier? What if Nick Saban says, well, my God, how did Kalen DeBoer blow this Georgia game? I know he's not going to say stuff like that, but it'd be great if he did, and it would make national news once again.
How much? Let me ask you something. I'm just thinking, because we talked about Saban retiring for so many years. If you were to guess, and like you're inside Saban's head right now, would you want to leave Alabama in great shape? Or would you like for them to struggle a little bit because to make your dynasty even better? You know what I'm saying? Like I always thought about this coming up to retirement. Like if you start seeing Saban in Alabama playing in some really tough teams, in future schedules, because we were doing those damn 8-10 years out at one point, then you would be like, okay, I see what you're doing, Sabe. You're making this schedule tough on whoever follows you. So do you think there's a little bit of that just because he's a prideful man?
Of course, Shane. Of course, because he is the greatest of all time.
Yeah,
and it will only, that'll be even more evident if, say, Alabama goes like 8-4 this year, which I don't think they're doing. But if they take a big step back and they start losing some of these rivalry games that they have owned under Nick Saban, Of course, that's just going to be, man, we didn't know how good we had it with Nick Saban on our sideline. So, yeah, of course, yeah, I think there's a little bit to that, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I would do it. I'd do it myself. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Shane, one other thing I wanted to hit you with here, and shout out Michael Raleigh. He's always showing up, even though the Gators are in a tough spot right now. But there's optimism because they got DJ Lagway now, Shane. So this is an interesting situation where they also got Graham Mertz, who we were both dead wrong about. He's a solid quarterback, and now they got the future right behind him. But now that spring football is here, and we're starting to see, these guys throw and go through drills and whatnot, and fans are just so damn excited for just about anything. I mean, it sounds like we got a interview about to post here. We're stepping on our toes here, Shay, but we got Trey Biddy from Hog Sports to break down some Arkansas Razorbacks. It sounds like their transfer, Jalen Green, the quarterback, sounds like there are, he's probably going to be named the starting quarterback already. So we all get impressed with the shiny new toy, so to speak. And that's what they're doing down there in Florida. But are there any players that you're kind of dying to see this spring just to get your first glimpse at? Or, of course, I bet you're probably going to just say Nico anyway, or first time as a starter heading into spring?
That is a great question, man. Loaded it up on me. There's a lot of spring games I'm really looking forward to, and maybe not so much an individual, but just the unit. Texas A&M is one that stands out to me. I want to see what this team looks like. LSU with if you're talking about an individual, Garrett having that starting, like what does the roster look like around him?
Right.
Those are maybe a few. Florida. Not so much. I mean, I'm excited about some of the new weapons, but I hope they don't show it because they're going to need to hide some of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think that's Mississippi State. How good does Levy's offense look? If not thinking about it, those are the ones that stand out to me right now.
I think you hit the nail on the head, though. The number one I was going to say, Shane, Mississippi State, just because they're a complete unknown to me, what they're going to look like. They bring in Blake Shapen, the quarterback from Baylor, who he's played in a Big 12 championship. He's been in the spotlight. And Jeff Levy coming in there, busting out this new offense, see how far we've come with a new offensive line, new receivers. Very excited to see that. But I'll throw another one at you, Shane, that I'm dying to see. And I don't know how far along he is. I think he's good to go. But Connor Wigman in this new Texas A&M offense with Colin Klein. And not just Colin Klein, but remember they had Jalen Henderson last year as well, a dual threat. I really want to see what this offense looks like with some of the pieces. And they've added 20-plus transfers, one of the top transfer portal classes in the country, Shane, in College Station. What do all these guys look like in new systems? I'm kind of – because I think A&M is one that people are starting to pick up on it a little bit. But when we saw that 8.5 win total come out, I think people started to realize maybe Texas A&M's not that far back from making an immediate bounce back and maybe even contending for a 9 or 10 win season.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, man. I mean, now that you got my wheels turning, brother, I was going to say Arkansas, but one thing I've liked so far with Arkansas is just kind of how open their camp is right now. It's almost like I'm in the spring practices, which I love. And I got a few buddies DMing me. You know who you are, Hot Rod. You just letting me know every time there's something good going on that offensive line, which they do look good. So I'm pretty pumped up about what Arkansas is going to be bringing with this new system. And one last mention is Goggles. Goggles and Rocket Sanders in the backfield, brother. What does that look like? You know, South Carolina's got a lot of pressure coming into the season. Shane Beamer's got it. He ain't going to say it, but you could tell. Yeah, things aren't as, you're not seeing the hype videos anymore as like you used to. So how do they bounce back? I think they got to have a big spring game, give these fans something to look forward to.
Oh, one more, Shane, and I hope I'm dead wrong. And that's why I want to see what this looks like. And maybe he'll be one of the biggest breakout stars in the SEC. How about Kentucky quarterback Brock Vandegrift in a new offensive system with Bush Hanben from Boise State, who's been at Missouri. So what is that going to look like? I think that's going to be fascinating because they got pieces at Kentucky.
Yeah.
They're basically like A&M 2.0, Shay, where we hype them up every offseason and they don't quite live up to the expectations. So I ain't hyping them this year, but that does not mean that that they're going to fall off a cliff or anything. I mean, if Brock Vandegrift's as good as some people say he is, Kentucky could be one of the biggest sleepers in the entire conference.
Right. Absolutely. That's a good point, man. Hey, devil's advocate, because everybody wants to talk about that flashy offense. I think that's what we did. We hit just on about every offense, but on defense, give me some Alabama, brother. With all the turnover, especially in that backfield, you got a Heisman quarterback. What does he look like against this secondary? I think that's a big one for me on defense. Is there any defense that maybe you're looking forward to or just kind of curious, maybe get some questions answered in spring practice here?
Yeah, I think the biggest one, Shane, is LSU, of course, with just how big of a disaster they were. And a lot of people are high on the Tigers, and I'm trying to figure out where they're getting that, aside from Brian Kelly, his strong track record. Rarely does he ever have a down year. I think he had one down year at Notre Dame, went 4-8 and blew up his staff, and I think they immediately went back to winning at an elite level. How far does LSU come on the defensive side of the ball? Because they have to. They simply have to. With what they're lost on the offensive side of the ball, if they're going to win 10 games again, that defense has got to be not just average. I think they got to be good because I just don't see how the offense with a new coordinator, new quarterback, new receivers, new running back, they're just not going to be near as good as they were last year, losing the Heisman Trophy winner. So to get there, the defense has got to carry their weight. If they're awful on defense again, good luck, brother. I mean, it's going to be awful. But how about your Missouri Tigers, Shade, with Corey Batu, new defensive coordinator? Want to see what that's looking like. All the clips I'm seeing, Luther Burden making all these highlight plays, Brady Cook making all these big-time throws. If they're slicing and dicing them up there at Missouri, I might have to pump the brakes a little bit on this Mizzou college football playoff talk.
Oh, you're crazy. You're crazy. Look at you. How much you been drinking over there, Mike? We came this a little late. Have you been out drinking? So
I have, yeah. All right. So hey, we just wanted to go a little quick one here, Shane, to tell the people about this again. Friday, come hang out. If you're coming to the SEC tournament, we're going to be there. Only 2 blocks away. Friday night, 7 o'clock Central. That's 8 p.m. Eastern time, of course. 6th and Peabody. It's a huge building. Old Smoky Distillery, Yeehaw Brewing. It's very easy to find. You can walk there from Bridgestone. And, man, it's going to be a good time. And I can't wait to meet some of you. I hope as many of you can come, will come hang out with us.
Yeah, I think we Ubered there for like $6 from the strip, so it is really that close. So yeah, definitely you can't miss me. I'll be probably in the back, the bald guy, a little large, larger than life. Probably the soberest one there, so be sure to come check us out. I just want to hang out. That's it. Just meet some folks. I think we're gonna have some family in, so you can see who the real boss is. Hey,
shout out cousin Dakota. $50 donation for a new curtain for cousin Shane. We appreciate you, brother. Let's get you upgraded. When's the new studio coming?
Oh, it's already there. I just got to move this stuff over. I know. I put it off, but I do kind of like this setup because I got the whole place to myself. But it's definitely time. Maybe I move it over here. I got some stuff over there. I may just move it over here until we move out. But yeah, brother, it's coming soon. That $50 will go a long way. You don't like the green? Huh? I thought that was...
I love it, man. It looks just like Mamaw's house. You know what? Papaw Saban's about to walk in there and do some decorating.
Oh, he's pissed off, man. He's tired of the green curtains, too.
All right, brother. Hey, well, I appreciate you hopping on a Friday. Go check out our interview, Trey Biddy. It's just posted. They're talking about it in the comments. Really good stuff. But, hey, that's all I got on this episode of the show. We'll catch you on the next one.
All right.